शिवम 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 एक मिनट।
हेलो, चेक चेक।
I request everyone to be please seated. Students at the back, can I please request you to please be seated and please switch off your mobile phones. We can start any minute. So request everyone to be settled and seated. We're about to begin. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are privileged to have with us today Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India and Patron in Chief of the National Legal Services Authority, NALSA, whose commitment to justice is an inspiration for all of us. Alongside him, we are honored to have Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority, and Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge, Supreme Court, and Chairman of Supreme Court Legal Services Committee. The esteemed figures in Indian judiciary whose dedication to the cause of justice is commendable. We are also graced by the presence of Sri Arjun Ram Meghwalji, the Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, whose leadership is instrumental in shaping the legal landscape of our nation, and Srimati Rekha Sharma, the chairperson of National Commission for Women, who exemplifies the strength and determination needed to champion the rights of women in our society. Distinguished guests, honorable judges of Supreme Court of India, esteemed officials, and all the esteemed attendees present here today, I, on behalf of NCW and NALSA, extend my heartiest welcome to you all. Today, we gather in observance of Legal Services Day, an occasion that underscores the pivotal role legal services play in upholding justice and safeguarding the rights of every individual. Today, we are here to witness the launch of groundbreaking initiatives like Vidhan Se Samadhan, an endeavor that embodies the collaborative effort of National Legal Services Authority NALSA and National Commission for Women NCW. The launch of Her Legal Guide, a mobile application made to make women across India aware about their legal rights and remedies. The upgraded national helpline number of NALSA. This program will pave the way for a more accessible and informed legal landscape for people across India. Now, to commence the program, I request all the esteemed dignitaries on the stage to please come forward and light the lamp. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. On this momentous occasion, I'm going to quote Fali S. Nariman. The access to legal services, they say, is a cornerstone of a democracy, providing a voice to the voiceless and ensuring that justice prevails for every citizen. And with lighting of this lamp, I'm sure it symbolizes the illumination of knowledge and dispelling of darkness that ignorance brings. I thank all the guests, all the esteemed guests for coming on the stage. And now I humbly request the dignitaries to please take their seat on the dais. I request Srimati Rekha Sharma ji now to please felicitate the Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud. Thank you, ma'am. I now request again Srimati Rekha Sharma ji to please felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of Supreme Court Legal Services. Thank you, ma'am. I again humbly request Ms. Rekha Sharma to felicitate Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India. and to felicitate Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul. Thank you, ma'am. I now request Ms. Santosh Snehiman, Member Secretary NALSA, to please felicitate Honorable Minister of State, Independent Charge, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji. Thank you, ma'am. I humbly again now request Ms. Santosh Snehiman, Member Secretary NALSA, to please felicitate Ms. Rekha Sharma, Chairperson, National Commission for Women. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. We are now about to share with you the theme song of NALSA, a melody that resonates with the core values and mission of this organization. I'm going to request the technical team to please now play the theme.
एहसास न्याय का सबके लिए, आकाश न्याय का सबके लिए, पुलिस का सबके लिए, विश्वास न्याय का सबके लिए। अपने इस हिंदुस्तान पर हक हमारा भी तो है, इंसाफ के इस आशिया पर हक हमारा भी तो है। एक मुट्ठी आसमां हक भी तो है, एक मुट्ठी आसमां हक हमारा भी तो है।
ये ना सोचो दर्द हमारा कहीं सुना न जाएगा, अब न्यायालय खुद चलकर चौपालों तक आएगा।
लाचारों को न्याय मिलेगा, दुखियारों को न्याय मिलेगा, हम को न्याय मिलेगा, मजलूमों को न्याय मिलेगा। हिंदुस्तान पर हक हमारा भी तो है, ईदों के इस गुलसिता पर हक हमारा भी तो है। एक मुट्ठी आसमां हमारा भी तो है, एक मुट्ठी आसमां हमारा भी तो है।
गरीब और कमजोरों को मुफ्त एवं सक्षम कानूनी सहायता के लिए प्रतिबद्ध विधिक सेवा प्राधिकरण नालसा, न्याय सबके लिए।
I think the song, as we could all see, clearly tells us that access to justice for all is from NALSA. NALSA is committed to access to justice for all. Now, before we play the documentary, the next thing on NCW's working, I would like to give a little brief about NCW. NCW, under the able guidance of Srimati Rekha Sharma, has consistently worked towards ensuring a brighter and more empowered future for women in our country. And now let us delve into the workings and accomplishment of NCW through a short documentary, a testament to their tireless efforts. I request the technical team to please press the button and display the documentary here.
नई उम्मीदों को संजोए विकास की नई राह पर आगे बढ़ रही हैं भारत की महिलाएं। हर क्षेत्र में सफलता के नए कीर्तिमान लिखती, नई ऊर्जा, नए आत्मविश्वास से भरपूर नए भारत की पहचान है भारत की महिलाएं। महिलाओं के कल्याण के लिए पूर्णतः समर्पित है राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग, जो कि पिछले 3 दशकों से उनके हितों की रक्षा करता आ रहा है। महिलाओं के कानूनी अधिकार सुनिश्चित करने से लेकर महिला सुरक्षा के लिए ठोस कदम उठाना, उनके सामाजिक एवं आर्थिक सशक्तिकरण की दिशा में कार्य करते हुए समाज में महिलाओं की स्थिति को बेहतर बनाना, महिलाओं से जुड़े सभी मुद्दों पर देश भर में जागरूकता अभियान चलाना, उनके स्वास्थ्य एवं शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में कार्य करना और राजनीति में महिलाओं के प्रतिनिधित्व को मजबूत बनाने के लिए जमीनी स्तर पर महिलाओं का तैयार करना। इस तरह के विभिन्न कार्य करते हुए एनसीडब्ल्यू महिला सशक्तिकरण के लिए महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दे रहा है। एनसीडब्ल्यू की 24/7 विमेन हेल्पलाइन पर महिलाएं किसी भी संकट की स्थिति में कॉल कर सकती हैं और उनकी जरूरत के अनुसार सहायता उपलब्ध कराई जाती है। आयोग में एंटी ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग सेल भी स्थापित किया गया है। इसके अंतर्गत समय समय पर ट्रैफिकिंग की रोकथाम के लिए अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स भी किए जा रहे हैं। महिलाओं के आर्थिक सशक्तिकरण के लिए एनसीडब्ल्यू देश भर में बड़े स्तर पर कई कार्यक्रम चला रहा है। मणिपुर स्टेट कमीशन के सहयोग से एनसीडब्ल्यू ने मणिपुर की ईमा मार्केट की महिला उद्यमियों के लिए कई क्षमता विकास कार्यक्रमों का आयोजन किया, जिससे उनकी क्षमता में बढ़ोतरी हो। महिलाओं में उद्यमिता के विकास के लिए एनसीडब्ल्यू द्वारा हजारों महिलाओं को देश के विभिन्न आईआईएम से ट्रेनिंग दिलाई जा रही है। एनसीडब्ल्यू द्वारा प्रायोजित इस निशुल्क ट्रेनिंग का लाभ लेकर ये महिलाएं अपने बिजनेस को नई ऊंचाइयों तक पहुंचा रही हैं। इनके साथ ही गृहिणियों के लिए भी रोजगार के अवसर उपलब्ध कराने के लिए सेकंड इनिंग्स मूवमेंट के तहत काउंसलिंग सेशंस का आयोजन किया जाता है, जिससे गृहिणियां नए रोजगार वर्धक कौशल सीख रही हैं। वहीं एनसीडब्ल्यू का पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम अंडर ग्रेजुएट और पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट स्टूडेंट्स को प्रोफेशनल लाइफ की चुनौतियों के लिए तैयार कर रहा है। कौशल क्षमता विकास व व्यक्तित्व विकास कार्यक्रम के तहत देश भर के विभिन्न महाविद्यालयों व विश्वविद्यालयों के माध्यम से हजारों छात्राओं को प्रशिक्षित किया गया। एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत के अंतर्गत एनसीडब्ल्यू ने नॉर्थ ईस्ट राज्यों जम्मू कश्मीर और लद्दाख की छात्राओं को राजधानी दिल्ली में सरकारी संस्थानों, राष्ट्रीय आयोगों के कामकाज और सार्वजनिक एवं ऐतिहासिक महत्व के स्थानों से रूबरू कराने के लिए उनकी दिल्ली यात्रा को भी प्रायोजित किया। महिलाओं के लिए सुरक्षित साइबर स्पेस सुनिश्चित करता है एनसीडब्ल्यू का डिजिटल शक्ति कार्यक्रम। मेटा और साइबर पीस फाउंडेशन के सहयोग से चलाए जा रहे इस कार्यक्रम का लाभ लेकर अब तक लाखों महिलाओं ने साइबर सुरक्षा तकनीकों, शिकायत और समाधान प्रक्रियाओं, डेटा गोपनीयता और प्रौद्योगिकी के उपयोग पर प्रशिक्षण प्राप्त किया है। राजनीति में महिलाओं का प्रतिनिधित्व राजनीति में महिलाओं की भागीदारी को बढ़ाने के लिए एनसीडब्ल्यू का शी इज अ चेंज मेकर प्रोग्राम बेहद मददगार साबित हो रहा है। इसके तहत पंचायती राज संस्थानों, शहरी स्थानीय निकायों, राजनीतिक दलों की महिला प्रतिनिधियों और महिला विधायकों के लिए प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम चलाए जा रहे हैं। एम्पावरमेंट ऑफ विमेन थ्रू लीगल अवेयरनेस जैसे कार्यक्रम महिलाओं को संकट की घड़ी के लिए तैयार करते हैं। पीड़ित महिलाओं के लिए कानूनी सहायता को सुलभ बनाने के लिए एनसीडब्ल्यू ने दिल्ली राज्य कानूनी सेवा प्राधिकरण के सहयोग से अपने कार्यालय में लीगल एड क्लिनिक स्थापित किया है, जहां पीड़ित महिलाएं मुफ्त कानूनी सहायता प्राप्त कर सकती हैं। देश के विभिन्न राज्य महिला आयोगों द्वारा ऐसे कानूनी सहायता क्लिनिक स्थापित करने में एनसीडब्ल्यू परामर्श व इन शिकायतों पर कार्य करने के साथ साथ इन पर जागरूकता फैलाने के लिए भी अभियान चला रहा है। एनआरआई पतियों द्वारा प्रताड़ित महिलाओं के लिए एनसीडब्ल्यू परामर्श कार्यक्रमों के साथ साथ इन मुद्दों पर जागरूकता फैलाने के लिए अभियान चला रहा है। इसके साथ ही एनसीडब्ल्यू और भी कई कार्यक्रम चला रहा है, जैसे कि विभिन्न राज्यों में पुलिस कर्मियों के लिए लैंगिक संवेदनशीलता पर 5 दिवसीय प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम का आयोजन कराना, घरेलू हिंसा के मामलों में प्रोटेक्शन ऑफिसर्स की भूमिका को ध्यान में रखते हुए उनका प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम, लैंगिक समानता के लिए पुरुषों की सहभागिता को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए बड़े स्तर पर चलाए जा रहे कार्यक्रम, एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की परिकल्पना को मजबूती प्रदान करने के लिए रेशनल डाइवर्सिटी सेंसिटाइजेशन पर विभिन्न संगठनों के सहयोग से सेमिनार का आयोजन और सेक्स वर्कर्स के हितों को सुरक्षित रखने के लिए परामर्श कार्यक्रमों का आयोजन किया, जिसमें कई कार्यक्रम आयोजित किए गए। एनसीडब्ल्यू की ऐसी अनेक कोशिशों से लाखों महिलाओं को मिला है सम्मान पूर्वक जीवन का अधिकार। महिलाओं को समर्पित है राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग।
Big round of applause. This clearly shows that NCW believes that Sashakt Nari hi Samriddh Bharat ka pratik hai. So now, on that note, I now invite Ms. Santosh Sehiman, Member Secretary of National Legal Services Authority, to deliver the welcome address, thus establishing the ambience for this momentous and highly significant occasion. So I request Ms. Santosh Sehiman to please come on the stage and address the audience. Thank you.
Good evening. Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Honorable the Chief Justice of India, and Patron-in-Chief NALSA, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairperson NALSA, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge Supreme Court of India and Chairman Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, Honorable Judges of Supreme Court of India, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, Honorable Minister of State for Law, Madam Rekha Sharma, Chairperson, National Commission for Women, dignitaries and distinguished guests present. Every year, the Legal Services Day is observed on 9th November to commemorate the coming into force of the Legal Services Authority Act. From what started as an initiative to provide lawyers to the accused in criminal cases has now evolved into a strong network of legal services institutions committed to provide nationwide access to free legal services. This evolution has in turn cultivated the trust of people in the legal services authorities. In the year 2022-23, we have rendered legal services to more than 12 lakh beneficiaries in the country. The legal service framework has undergone significant evolution in its capability to render legal services, making India's legal services framework one of the most developed in the world. The vision and stellar leadership of Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India and Patron-in-Chief NALSA, culminated this growth into organizing the first ever international conference on access to legal aid by NALSA later this month. This conference will facilitate discussions among Chief Justices, Chief Justice Ministers, leaders of legal aid organization and civil society experts from 70 countries of the global south. I'm honored to welcome His Lordship on this special occasion. Over the past 2 decades, NALSA has successfully expanded the reach of access to justice initiatives, augmenting both inclusivity and efficacy of the legal aid framework. The strong leadership of Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman of NALSA, played a pivotal role in making this notable progress. It was His Lordship's commitment to ensure access to legal aid to the remotest areas of the country, which led to the decision of revamping the legal aid helpline 15100 at the 19th All India Legal Services Authority meet in Srinagar earlier this year. It is my privilege to welcome His Lordship on this occasion. To extend the reach of legal services to the weaker and vulnerable sections of the society, a pragmatic approach is imperative to guarantee its earnest implementation. This achievement owes its realization to the unwavering support and guidance of Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge of Supreme Court of India, Chairman of SCLSC, and member of NALSA's Advisory Consultative Panel. The cause of free legal services is close to His Lordship's heart. I welcome His Lordship at this commemoration of Legal Services Day. Any initiative towards strengthening the access to justice is only a plan on paper until it receives the required financial support and desired political will. Several key initiatives of NALSA, such as upgradation of Helpline 15100, and Legal Aid Defense Council system are being implemented at a fast pace because of the constant support of Shri Arjun Ram Meghwalji, Honorable Minister of Law and Justice. Honorable Minister's personal interest in NALSA's efforts has played a pivotal role in enhancing access to justice for all. It's my privilege to welcome you, Honorable Minister, on this virtuous occasion. Today, in the esteemed presence of the honorable dignitaries, three key initiatives for strengthening access to justice are being launched. The upgraded toll-free National Legal Aid Helpline 15100 of NALSA, the collaborative awareness program of NALSA and NCW for women at the block level, Vidhan Se Samadhan, and the NCW mobile application, her legal guide. These initiatives will be instrumental in strengthening access to justice to the marginalized sections of the society. With the unwavering commitment and consistent efforts of all the stakeholders, the legal services authorities will attain new heights in making the access to justice approach more inclusive and impactful. On this occasion, as Member Secretary NALSA, it's a proud privilege to welcome you all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we are honored to have Ms. Rekha Sharma, the chairperson of the National Commission for Women, to share her insights and wisdom with us. Please, ma'am.
Namaskar. As the chairperson of National Commission for Women, I extend my warmest greetings to the esteemed gathering present here today. We are honored to have with us Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud ji, along with esteemed Honorable Justice Shri Sanjay Kaul ji, Krishan Kaul ji, and Honorable Justice Shri Sanjeev Khanna ji. Shri Arjun Meghwal ji, Minister of State Independent Charges of the Ministry of Law and Justice, all the dignitaries, I extend my warmest welcome to all. I must first of all congratulate Honorable Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud ji for completing 1 year in the office. My esteemed colleagues from various government departments, representatives of NALSA, BPRNT, police, our guests, ladies and gentlemen, and students of different colleges, I'm elated to welcome you today on this program. We all know that since the conception of our constitution, all the rights have been given equally to women and men of India. But somehow, because of gender discrimination in the society, women are unable to get or know also about their rights. We also know that we have the constitution, not only constitution, but various special laws also are being made only for women because of this. But since they don't know about their rights, we have started these awareness campaigns with NALSA. And I think the key thing is if we need any change in the society, we need to aware people, especially women, about their rights. Unless they know their rights, they can't fight for their rights. Somehow in the society, we don't teach our daughters to talk about their rights, to ask for their rights. And we don't teach our sons to respect the rights of women. And in the words of Chief Justice, he said awareness about the rights of women can be truly meaningful if that awareness is created amongst the younger generation of men, and rightly so. And because of that, NCW also started awareness, gender discrimination awareness, and legal awareness in the schools also with the students of 11th and 12th, because we want to start them giving this knowledge earlier in the life. But we saw that in the villages and the poor and needy women, still we can't reach them. And that's how we partnered with NALSA, National Legal Service Authority, because they have the wider reach. They have NALSA advocates all over in every district. And we have started from last 3 years this special program of uh, mm, legal awareness program with NALSA. I must thank NALSA for partnering with us and reaching every woman of every district. This is the third phase we are starting today, and in this phase we also we are trying to make some leaders from those societies who can reach to the lower level of the strata. They will be leading in these legal awareness programs all over India. So we are also starting something new today. As I said, this program will be called Vidhan Se Samadhan, and this is the third phase. We are also launching her legal guide app. As you all know, we everything is in our palm. This time of the in the world, everything we can do with our own phones. So why to Google all this when we can have a special application for all your legal rights? आप सभी महिलाएं जो यहाँ बैठी हैं, आप अपनी एप्लीकेशन जब डाउनलोड करेंगी तो उसमें आप सभी कानून जो आपके लिए बने हैं, अभी हम दिखाएंगे कैसे डाउनलोड करना है। आप अपने फोन पे डाउनलोड कर सकती हैं और आपके लिए जो राइट्स हैं, आपके लिए जो लॉज बने हैं, आप उनको हर लीगल गाइड, द नेम ऑफ द एप्लीकेशन इज हर लीगल गाइड, यू कैन डाउनलोड टुडे itself. It is there in both the phones, Android and Apple both. You can download in both. With that, I must thank Honorable Justice, uh, Chief Justice of India. I must thank all the Chief Justices on the dais, of the dais, and everyone present here, because today it is very important for us that we share our initiatives with all of you so that you can take guidance from the application, you can be part of the free legal aid, and also you can be part of the legal awareness programs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your profound words. May I now invite Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji, the Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, to please address the audience.
लीगल सर्विसेज डे पर आयोजित ये कार्यक्रम, और इस कार्यक्रम में हम सबको ऊर्जा दे रहे हैं, हमारे कार्यक्रम की शोभा बढ़ा रहे हैं माननीय भारत के मुख्य न्यायाधीश एवं संरक्षक प्रमुख नालसा डॉक्टर DY चंद्रचूड़ साहब। मंच पर बैठे हुए न्यायमूर्ति संजय किशन कौल साहब, जो कार्यकारी अध्यक्ष हैं नालसा के और न्यायाधीश भारत के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के हैं। दूसरे हमारे माननीय न्यायमूर्ति संजीव खन्ना साहब, जो न्यायाधीश हैं भारत के सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के और अध्यक्ष सर्वोच्च न्यायालय कानूनी सेवा समिति। मंच पर सुश्री रेखा शर्मा, अध्यक्ष राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग, सदस्य सचिव नालसा, न्यायाधीशगण, सम्मानित अतिथिगण, देवियों और सज्जनों, आप सभी को नमस्कार। अभी हमने एक छोटी सी फिल्म देखी, आप सबने देखी होगी। भाव यही है, न्याय सबके लिए, हक हमारा भी तो है, हक हमारा भी तो है। इतना शानदार इसका प्रेजेंटेशन एक छोटी सी फिल्म के माध्यम से और आज के इस प्रोग्राम का सार भी यही है कि कोई आदमी गांव में गरीब है, वो वकील नहीं कर सकता, तो क्या उसको न्याय नहीं मिलेगा? मिलेगा, नालसा के माध्यम से मिलेगा। यही आज के दिन का महत्व है। और दिन कितना महत्वपूर्ण है कि हमारे चीफ जस्टिस साहब को पद ग्रहण किए हुए चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया के 1 साल पूरा हुआ है। ये हमारे लिए, सबके लिए गर्व की बात। ताली और जोरदार, जोर से भी बजा सकते हो। शानदार दिन। और कभी कभी हम ऐसा भी कह सकते हैं सीजीआई साहब, आपका ये कार्यकाल 1 साल बेमिसाल, ये बेमिसाल रहा। मैं जब नालसा के विषय में चर्चा हो रही थी तो मैं आज कुछ पढ़ रहा था। कोर्ट तो वो अंग्रेजी में है, मैं लेकिन उसको मैं मेरी भाषा में बोलूंगा कि हमारे जस्टिस वी.आर. कृष्ण अय्यर साहब जब इस विषय पे चर्चा कर रहे थे तो उनका मानना था कि अगर किसी को न्याय नहीं मिलता है, मैं इसको जोर दे रहा हूं कि अगर किसी को न्याय नहीं मिलता है इस देश में, तो मैं समझता हूं कि कोई सिस्टम का फॉल्ट है, सिस्टम इसके लिए दोषी है। तो कोई ऐसा आदमी होता था जिसको न्याय नहीं मिलता था, मैं गरीब हूं, वकील कैसे करूं। तो इस दिशा में जब सोचना शुरू हुआ, आर्टिकल 39A को खंगाला गया 87 में, आकर के इस पे चिंतन तेजी से हुआ, फिर एक्ट बना। आज मैं गर्व से कह सकता हूं कि भारत कई मामलों में ग्लोबल लीडर है। भारत कई मामलों में ग्लोबल लीडर है। जैसे योगा में भारत ग्लोबल लीडर है, आयुर्वेद में भारत ग्लोबल लीडर है, स्पेस में चंद्रयान 3 छोड़ करके ये सिद्ध कर दिया कि स्पेस के सेक्टर में भी भारत ग्लोबल लीडर है। ऐसा ही एक्सेस टू जस्टिस के क्षेत्र में, ऐसा ही एक्सेस टू जस्टिस के क्षेत्र में भारत ग्लोबल लीडर है, ऐसा मैं मानता हूं। इसलिए मैं इस अवसर पर नालसा से जुड़े हुए सभी न्यायाधीशगण, सभी काम करने वाले अधिकारी, कर्मचारी, उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, अभिनंदन करता हूं और वंदन करता हूं। अभी विषय आया इस फिल्म में नारी शक्ति के उत्थान का, नारी शक्ति के वंदन का। अब रेखा शर्मा जी भी अपने भाषण में जिक्र कर रहे थे कि राजनीतिक क्षेत्र में भी महिलाओं को उचित प्रतिनिधित्व मिले। ये मेरे लिए भी गर्व का विषय है और भारतीय संसद के लिए भी गर्व का विषय। नया संसद भवन बना, नया संसद भवन बना, पहला ही सत्र हुआ और नारी शक्ति वंदन पहला ही विधेयक पास हुआ। ये हमारे लिए भी गर्व का विषय है। 33% महिलाओं को लोकसभा में और विधानसभाओं में आरक्षण, बहुत सुंदर काम हुआ है। मुझे उदाहरण याद आ गया, लेकिन उससे पहले 3 चीजें जो आज होने वाली है। लीगल सर्विसेज ऐप, ये भी बहुत एक अभिनव अच्छा प्रयोग है। विधान से समाधान, ये भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण एक प्रकल्प है जिसको शुरू कर रहे हैं। NCW हर लीगल गाइड, ये भी एक कार्यक्रम शुरू कर रहे हैं। और मैं ये भी बताना चाहता हूं कि मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ लॉ एंड जस्टिस ने विभिन्न योजनाएं बनाई हैं, जिसमें फास्ट ट्रैक, विशेष न्यायालय योजना, न्याय बंधु योजना, न्याय विकास ग्राम न्यायालय योजना, न्याय वितरण के लिए राष्ट्रीय मिशन, कानूनी सुधार, ये सब सम्मिलित है। लेकिन इस सब में मैं फिर याद करूंगा संविधान निर्माताओं को, और विशेष करके संविधान सभा में 15 हमारी महिलाएं थी। रेखा जी, आपके लिए टॉपिक हो सकता है, और यहाँ जो बैठे हैं कुछ, उनके लिए भी टॉपिक होगा कि संविधान सभा में हमारा जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बना था, उसके लिए जब कैबिनेट मिशन के बाद जब अंग्रेज देश छोड़ के जा रहे थे, तो उन्होंने कहा यहाँ का ही विधान होना चाहिए। जैसे आपने कहा विधान से समाधान, एक संविधान होना चाहिए। तो उसके लिए सदस्यों का निर्वाचन हुआ तो उसमें 297 के करीब सदस्य बने, 1-2 सदस्य रिजाइन कर गए, लेकिन उसमें 15 महिलाएं थी। जो 15 महिलाएं थी, उनका संविधान के निर्माण में शानदार योगदान था। हमें याद करना चाहिए ऐसी महिलाओं को। आज का दिन उनके लिए महत्वपूर्ण है। उसमें एक सरोजिनी नायडू, बहुत बड़ा नाम, राजकुमारी अमृत कौर, बहुत बड़ा नाम, हंसाबेन जीवराज मेहता, सुचिता कृपलानी, जी दुर्गाबाई जैसे नाम सम्मिलित है। हम जोरदार उनका स्वागत करके अभिनंदन कर सकते हैं कि क्या शानदार उन्होंने बहस की थी। जब ये मताधिकार का विषय आया था ना संविधान सभा में बहस का, उस समय महिलाएं कह रही थी कि हमें भी एक साथ मताधिकार दे दो, लेकिन उस समय कुछ ऐसे हमारे सदस्य थे वहां, उन्होंने कहा इंग्लैंड में भी डेमोक्रेसी पहले आ गई थी, लोकतंत्र पहले आ गया था, लेकिन मताधिकार पहले पुरुषों को मिला, महिलाओं को लेट मिला। शायद 100 साल लगे होंगे, पहले पढ़ी लिखी महिलाओं को मिला, फिर सब महिलाओं को मिला, ऐसी चर्चाएं हुई। फिर बोला अमेरिका, वहां भी पहले डेमोक्रेटिक सेटअप आ गया था, लेकिन मताधिकार एक साथ नहीं मिला, महिलाओं को लेट मिला। मैं इन सभी माननीय महिला जो सदस्य थी संविधान सभा में, और विशेष करके डॉक्टर बी.आर. अम्बेडकर बाबा साहब को याद करना चाहता हूं। उन्होंने कहा, नेहरू जी, आप एशिया और अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज के लीडर बनना चाहते हो? बोला हाँ, मैं बनना चाहता हूं। तो नया प्रयोग करिए, ये मताधिकार है, इसमें कोई बजट नहीं लग रहा है। आप कह रहे हैं कि महिलाएं कैसे मताधिकार का प्रयोग करेगी, जो पुरुष कहेगा वही करेगी। हो सकता है ऐसा होगा कई जगह, लेकिन आने वाले समय में चेतना आ जाएगी। आप कहते हो कि ये अनपढ़ आदमी मताधिकार का कैसे प्रयोग करेगा, ये मत करिए, ये ठीक नहीं है। अगर आप अफ्रीकन और एशियन कंट्रीज के लीडर बनना चाहते हो तो एक साथ मताधिकार दे दो पुरुष और महिलाओं को, और इन महिलाओं के सहयोग से एक साथ मताधिकार मिला। आज जब मैं देखता हूं, जब डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर बोल रहे थे कि आप मताधिकार दे दीजिए, ये महिलाएं, जब ये मताधिकार का दिन आएगा तो होली और दिवाली जैसा सेलिब्रेशन करेगी। लोग हंसे कि अब डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर क्या बोल रहे हैं। जब आज मैं देखता हूं, जब मताधिकार का दिन आता है और महिलाएं सज धज करके मताधिकार करने के लिए आती है, तो मुझे डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर याद आते हैं, और ये महिलाएं भी याद आती जिन्होंने बहस की थी। एक विषय और लेकर के मैं मेरा स्थान लूंगा। ये ऐसा नहीं है कि हमारी सोसाइटी में पहले कोई एडवोकेट फ्री में पैरवी नहीं करते थे। एक मुझे उदाहरण याद आ रहा है, यहाँ बैठे बैठे याद आ गया। महर्षि अरविंद, बहुत बड़ा नाम, अलीपुर द्वार केस में फंस गए, जेल में बंद, और उसके बाद एक दिन अखबार में खबर आती है कि कल जो फैसला आएगा उसमें शायद महर्षि अरविंद को, अरविंद घोष उस समय उनका नाम था, महर्षि बाद में बने जब पांडिचेरी चले गए, आश्रम बनाया, शायद इनका जीवन नहीं रहेगा, ऐसा बड़ी सजा होने वाली थी। ये अखबार में खबर थी। और सिया दास, जिसको हम चितरंजन दास के नाम से जानते हैं, ये इनके कोई एडवोकेट नहीं थे। इन्होंने नाश्ता करते समय अखबार में खबर पढ़ी, उन्होंने कहा ये क्या हो रहा है, अरविंद घोष को इतनी बड़ी सजा हो जाएगी। इन्होंने अपने सारे काम छोड़े और कोर्ट में पहुंच गए। अब वहां जो जज थे वो महर्षि अरविंद के क्लास फेलो थे, और ब्रिटिशर्स थे, मतलब अंग्रेज थे, जज भी। जैसे सीआर दास पहुंचे तो वो जज पूछते हैं, आप इनके एडवोकेट हो क्या? बोला नहीं। अब ये सीजीआई साहब बैठे हैं, शायद उस समय ये परंपरा थी या नहीं थी, शायद सीनियर डेजिग्नेटेड एडवोकेट कहीं भी जाकर के एंट्री कर सकता था, ऐसा कोई विषय था क्या उस समय भी? आजकल तो है, कहीं कोई कहता है सीनियर एडवोकेट कहीं भी जाके अगर वकील नहीं करे तो भी बहस कर सकता है। लेकिन इसमें क्या था, मैंने कई किताबों में पढ़ा है, सही है गलत मुझे पता नहीं, सीआर दास ने बहस की जज साहब से। जज साहब ने कहा आपको वकील ही नहीं किया, आप कैसे पेश हो सकते हो अरविंद के पक्ष में? और बोला ये अरविंद यहाँ खड़ा, मैं पूछता हूँ। वो क्लास फेलो ही थे। उन्होंने पूछा, मिस्टर अरविंद घोष, आपने कोई वकील किया है? बोला मैंने कोई वकील नहीं किया। बोला ये आए ना आपके पक्ष में बहस करने के लिए, मुझे पता नहीं, मैंने वकील नहीं किया। लेकिन सीआर दास अड़ गए, उन्होंने कहा मैं बहस कर सकता हूं इसके पक्ष में, आप सुन क्यों नहीं सकते? ये तर्क नहीं रखता है, कोई बात नहीं, इनकी तरफ से मैं तर्क रखूंगा। और वो काफी नामी गरामी एडवोकेट थे, तो जज साहब को पता नहीं क्या हुआ, उन्होंने अलाउ कर दिया। कोई फाइल नहीं थी उनके पास, महर्षि अरविंद के केस की कोई फाइल नहीं थी। उन्होंने 2 उदाहरण दिए जज साहब को कि जज साहब आप अरविंद के क्लास फेलो रहे, अरविंद ने बचपन में एक कविता लिखी, वो कविता इतनी फेमस हुई कि रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर हंगरी में अपने पेट के इलाज के लिए गए हुए थे, और जैसे ही वो इंग्लैंड आए, उन्होंने वो कविता पढ़ी कि ये कविता लिखने वाला कौन आदमी है। वो कविता फ्रेंच भाषा में थी। उन्होंने कहा ये कविता लिखने वाला कौन आदमी है, मैं उससे मिलना चाहता हूं। उनको लगा होगा रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर कोई बड़ा आदमी होगा, 60-70 साल का आदमी होगा, बहुत लर्नेड होगा, कौन है ये आदमी? तो बाद में पता चला कि ये तो इंडियन है। तो बोला मैं जरूर मिलना चाहूंगा। बाद में पता चला वो तो बच्चा है। तो बोला मैं और जरूर मिलना चाहूंगा। और जब रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर अरविंद से मिले, उन्होंने कहा तुमने ये जो कविता लिखी है ना, ये कोई साधारण आदमी नहीं लिख सकता। तो वो सीआर दास उसको कहते हैं, जज को, कि रविन्द्रनाथ टैगोर भी कहता है कि साधारण आदमी नहीं लिख सकता। जब ये अरविंद इतना असाधारण है तो इनका जीवन क्यों ले रहे हो? नंबर 1। नंबर 2, उन्होंने जो बात कही फिर भी वो नहीं माने, तो फिर एक बात कही, कोई फाइल नहीं थी उनके पास और बहस कर रहे थे, 2-3 घंटे बहस हुई। उन्होंने कहा जज साहब इस दुनिया से आप भी चले जाओगे, मैं भी चला जाऊंगा, ये गवाह आया ना ये भी चला जाएगा, आपके इस कोर्ट के सारे कर्मचारी अधिकारी चले जाएंगे, लेकिन अगर कोई याद किया जाएगा तो ये अरविंद घोष याद किया जाएगा। इस देश में और दुनिया में अरविंद घोष याद किया जाएगा। छोड़ दिया, जज साहब ने छोड़ दिया। बाद में बहुत सी कहानियां लिखी। उत्तरपाड़ा में जब उनका भाषण महर्षि अरविंद का था, कई चीजें आई, फिर वो पांडिचेरी चले गए। और आज सीआर दास के वो तो कोर्ट में कहे गए बहस के भाषण अंश गूंज रहे हैं जी। सीआर दास ने कई जगह बहस की होगी, लेकिन जो सीआर दास की बहस महर्षि अरविंद को छुड़ाने के लिए की, वो आज भी अमर है और अजर अमर रहने वाली। ऐसे जो वकील है उनको भी हमें सलाम करना चाहिए, हमें उनके भी नतमस्तक होना चाहिए। ये क्या था? लीगल एडी तो थी, और क्या था? ये महर्षि अरविंद को दी गई सीआर दास के द्वारा लीगल एडी थी। ऐसी मानवतावादी सोच के वकील जहां जहां देश और दुनिया में है, मैं फिर कह रहा हूं कि हम योग में ग्लोबल लीडर बने, हम स्पेस में भी ग्लोबल लीडर बने, हम आयुर्वेद में भी ग्लोबल लीडर बने, हम लीगल एड के मामले में, एक्सेस टू जस्टिस के मामले में भी दुनिया में ग्लोबल लीडर बन सकते हैं। आपने मुझे अवसर दिया, उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir, for such a powerful address. आपके बोलने से पूरी ऑडियंस में एक जोश और उम्मीद का माहौल है. Now we have the launch of the NCW app, and before that, I would like to say that it is indeed an honor to have with us Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Honorable Mr. Minister of State, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, Shri Arjun Meghwal ji, and Ms. Rekha Sharma, the Chairperson of NCW, to launch the first ever mobile application created by NCW. This application is a significant step towards empowering women across India by providing them with easy access to their legal rights. I request all the dignitaries to formally launch the app. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the dignitaries on the dais for their presence during this historic launch. Now I take this opportunity to invite Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India, and Chairman of Supreme Court Legal Services Committee to please address the audience.
Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India and Patron Chief, National Legal Services Authority, Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairperson, National Legal Services Authority, Mr. Arjun Ram Meghwal, the Ministry of State of Law and Justice, Ms. Rekha Sharma, the Chairperson of the National Commission for Women, brother judges from the Supreme Court, the Member Secretary, National Legal Services Authority, Member Secretaries from the State and District Legal Services Authorities, paralegal volunteers, social workers, students, and other dignitaries. Namaste. The pioneering Legal Services Authority Act 1987 was brought into force about 28 years back on 9th of November 1995. This piece of legislation from then has shaped and is the focal point of access to justice in India. Mr. Meghwal talked about we being the global leaders in this area. That's a fact. India today has the largest coverage of legal aid in the world. Almost 80% of the India's 1.4 billion citizens are eligible to free legal aid. One of the leading judges of Supreme Court of USA, Ruth Ginsburg, had said, there can be no equal justice where the kind of trial a person gets depends upon the amount of money he has. Similar words were said years back by Justice P.N. Bhagwati when he realized the importance of free legal aid services as an integral part of right to life and liberty. And he had said, the poor in the contact with the legal system have always been on the wrong side of the line. The result is the legal system has lost its credibility for the weaker sections of the community. It is therefore necessary that we should inject equal justice into legality, and that can be done only by dynamic and activist scheme of legal services. The vision of NALSA is to establish an inclusive legal system to ensure fair and meaningful justice for the marginalized and the disadvantaged sections of the society. While the primary objective is to provide free and competent legal representations in courts of law, there are broadly four other areas or goals which are part of the inclusive vision of NALSA. They are, first, spreading legal literacy and awareness. Two, providing legal assistance to bridge the gap between socio-economic welfare policies and schemes and actual realization of benefits in these policies and schemes. Three, enacting and implementing strategic schemes for vulnerable sections of our society. And lastly, providing quick, cheap, effective resolution of disputes through alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. The member secretary had just referred to the fact that India, we are providing 12 lakh, the total count of legal aid beneficiaries in the year 2022-23 was about 12 lakhs. The fact is that almost 30% of the cases in the trial court for the defense are handled by the legal aid councils. The figure goes up to 50% at the appellate stage. I do not think Indian criminal justice system can work without the legal aid. How has it been possible? NALSA has enrolled about 49,000 advocates, out of which 44,000 advocates have been enrolled at the district level, 4,114 at the High Court level, and 236 advocates have been enrolled at the Supreme Court level. In addition, we have 42,446 paralegal volunteers, out of which 17,506 paralegal volunteers are women, which constitute 41% of the total paralegal volunteers enrolled. As far as access to justice is concerned and disseminating legal literacy and awareness is concerned, we have been following a twofold approach: reach in and reach out, or outreach approach. NALSA has set up close to 19,000 legal literacy clubs in schools. Between 2016 and 2017 and 2022-2023, the number of legal awareness programs organized by NALSA increased from 1,21,000 to reach out to the remotest part of the country and have door-to-door programs. We have 78 mobile vans, apart from others who go and visit the villages and interact with the citizens. Today, we have taken two important steps. The first is her legal guide, and the second is upgraded helpline number of NALSA. These will help us make available legal assistance at the doorsteps of those beneficiaries or persons who require the legal assistance. I'll briefly now point out the schemes which we have under the NALSA patronage. These include schemes for children, differently abled children, widows, economically disadvantaged groups and individuals, victims of acid attack, trafficking, commercial sexual exploitation, drug abuse, disasters, and sexual assaults. Till 2022-23, NALSA assisted in a worth of about 348 crores. I'll just repeat the figure: 348 crores to victims in about 20,990 decided applications under the Victim Compensation Scheme. This by no means is a small achievement. It shows the effectiveness and how NALSA has been able to enforce these schemes. Coming now to the fourth aspect, which is the alternate dispute resolution mechanism. The success of Lok Adalats is unparalleled. I do not think anywhere in the world we can have 13 crore cases disposed of. Total number of cases disposed of in the National Lok Adalats has crossed the figure of 13 crores in the country. In addition, now we have started e-Lok Adalats, and about 73 lakh cases have been disposed of by e-Lok Adalats in last 3 years. The National Legal Services Day is not an occasion to recollect and refer to with some satisfaction the accomplishments we have achieved. This day also serves as a moment to reflect, set new goals, and envisage what lies ahead. We must acknowledge there are still challenges faced by the vulnerable sections of the society, including women and children, who are in need and require legal assistance to protect and enforce their rights and get what is due to them. I'll flag 4 aspects without any details. The first is the need to look after the plight of the infants in growing up in jail. The second is the plight of the families of incarcerated prisoners, who normally happen to be women and children. The third is that we have to break the cycle of poverty, connect between the poverty and the cycle of criminality, which means providing employment and sources skill development of the people who both are incarcerated and have suffered imprisonment, as well as their families. The fourth aspect relates to easy accessibility of mental health support services, which is something which is really lacking in the country. It is time that we provide psychiatric and psychological support to the victims. The last element which I want to highlight is the need to upgrade the shelter homes for women, including for the victims, including women. We have marched a long way, but we have some distance to go. And let's hope next time when we meet on 9th of November 2024, we have something else and more satisfaction of the last 1 year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Before we proceed further in this program, I would like to take a moment and would like to show you all the NCW app, which is just now launched. We have a beautiful video about the NCW app. I request the technical team to please play the video. Thank you. That calls for a big round of applause. And as you could all see, there's a QR code. We all can download the app now. Now, to proceed further, I invite my colleague Shivam Garg to please take the program forward.
कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाते हुए बढ़ते हैं महत्वपूर्ण क्षण की ओर। राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग व राष्ट्रीय विधिक सेवा प्राधिकरण के सहयोगात्मक प्रयासों से विधिक जागरूकता कार्यक्रम विधान से समाधान के लॉन्च का यह अद्भुत क्षण है। विधान से समाधान एक ऐसा विधिक जागरूकता कार्यक्रम है जिसके माध्यम से हमारा उद्देश्य पूरे देश की महिलाओं को उनके अधिकारों, उनसे संबंधित प्रावधानों, कानूनी उपायों तक तो पहुंच सुनिश्चित करना है ही, साथ ही हमारा उद्देश्य है उन महिलाओं को उनके जीवन में आने वाली वास्तविक कानूनी चुनौतियों का सामना करने के योग्य बनाने का। उनमें लोकतंत्र के महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ कार्यपालिका एवं न्यायपालिका की समझ विकसित हो, वे सरकारी स्कीमों से तो परिचित हो ही तथा पुलिस, कार्यपालिका, न्यायपालिका से संपर्क करने की प्रक्रिया से भी वाकिफ हों। 2 चरणों में होने वाले इस लीगल अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम विधान से समाधान में हमारा लक्ष्य मार्च 2024 तक 11 राज्यों की महिलाओं तक इसका लाभ पहुंचाना है। दूसरे चरण के बाद हम देश भर की महिलाओं तक इसका लाभ पहुंचा चुके होंगे, इसका हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है। मैं आग्रह करूंगा भारत के मुख्य न्यायाधीश माननीय न्यायमूर्ति डॉक्टर DY चंद्रचूड़ जी से वे विधान से समाधान को औपचारिक रूप से प्रारंभ करके हमें अनुग्रहित करें। माननीय न्यायाधीश श्री संजय किशन कौल जी, माननीय न्यायाधीश श्री संजीव खन्ना जी, माननीय कानून एवं न्याय मंत्री श्री अर्जुन राम मेघवाल जी, राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग की माननीय अध्यक्षा श्रीमती रेखा शर्मा जी, आप सबकी गरिमामय उपस्थिति में विधान से समाधान का प्रारंभ होना हमारे लिए गौरव का विषय है। मंच पर उपस्थित गणमान्यों के ध्यान मैं इस बात पर भी केंद्रित करना चाहूंगा कि इस कार्यक्रम की एक मुख्य विशेषता यह भी है, इस कार्यक्रम के माध्यम से राष्ट्रीय विधिक सेवा प्राधिकरण हर एक कैंप में कुछ महिलाओं को चिन्हित करेगा जिन्हें राष्ट्रीय महिला आयोग उचित प्रशिक्षण प्रदान करेगा, और यह प्रशिक्षण के बाद यह महिलाएं धरातल पर अन्य महिलाओं को भी उनके अधिकारों व कानूनी समझ के प्रति जागरूक करेंगी। ये लोकल चैंपियंस राष्ट्र निर्माण में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाएंगी और सही मायनों में यही तो है विमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट, जहां महिलाएं समस्या से समाधान, व्यवधान से समाधान और अंततः विधान से समाधान खोजेंगी। अब मैं आग्रह करूंगा सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के माननीय न्यायाधीश न्यायमूर्ति श्री संजय किशन कौल जी से वे आएं और अपने शब्दों के माध्यम से हमारा मार्गदर्शन करें।
Honorable Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, my brother Judge Sanjeev Khanna, and other brother and sister judges here present, Minister of State for Law and Justice, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwalji, Chairperson of the National Commission of Women, Mr. Rekha Sharma, Member Secretaries of TALSA, Member Secretaries of NCWs, Executive Chairmen, SLSA, Member Secretaries, judges, advocates, large number of paralegals, volunteers, social workers, and other stakeholders in our endeavor. Warm and joyous evening to everyone. Nyaya Sabke Liye. This is the theme which has to permeate and is supposed to permeate. The idea is to take the benefit of the law, the knowledge of law, to each person at his doorsteps. They are not to be embroiled in complicated legal issues, and the problems of people at large are very simple. The issue is how to address a lot of these simple issues by spreading the wings of NALSA in many areas and increasing the footprints in such a manner that we can endeavor to make the life of citizens a better one for them. I am filled with a great satisfaction as we commemorate the Legal Services Day. It's a day of great significance, celebrated every year on the 9th of November, marking the enactment of the Legal Services Authority Act in the year 1987. It's been a long journey, various passage through this, a lot of successes, but a lot of steps to still do and a lot of work to be done. Since the inception, the Legal Services Institution has embarked on this journey, a remarkable journey, dedicated to providing free legal services to the underprivileged section of society. Across the country, there are around almost 50,000 panel advocates, about 42,000 paralegal volunteers engaged in rendering legal services. In the previous year, approximately 12 lakh people benefited from court-related legal services. And through these statistics, we hope to provide a legal recourse to our people. Over the years, we have witnessed a transformation in the approach towards rendering legal services. Previously, arbitrary barriers restricted the access to legal justice and service. The National Legal Services Authority has been highly effective in fulfilling the mandate of the Legal Services Authority by introducing innovative and efficient approaches towards making justice accessible to the economically weaker sections of the society, providing outlets for aid and protection to those otherwise marginalized is one of the greatest responsibilities we have had in the legal field. When I said footprints are expanded, it's in many ways. It's slowly not restricted to only providing the traditional legal services for people in litigation, but also to prevent litigation, to provide aid to the people so that smaller issues get settled there. And I think the paralegal volunteers are great front warriors for us in the manner, and they help us out in this. Access to justice is significant for the economic growth of any nation. Thoughtful initiatives to promote access to justice for minorities, especially women, can promote economic and social advancement towards equality. However, institutional hurdles such as expensive legal services, lack of awareness, geographical barriers, and the public mistrust of the justice system have made the beneficiaries anxious to approach the legal service institutions. To make justice more accessible to the people, the legal services institutions have now been reaching out to the beneficiaries through their outreach program. That, I think, is the pioneering effect. The reach has also been extended to the schools by establishing about 18,745 legal literacy clubs in schools. Section 12 of the Legal Services Authorities lists out eligible categories of persons availing for free legal aid. and women are entitled to free legal services. Technological advancements should be utilized in streamlining of the legal aid delivery, which would make it more efficient and accessible to everyone. The launch of the NCW mobile application for women, Her Legal Guide, an upgraded national toll-free helpline number 1500 by NALSA with the IVRS technology deserves praise. The helpline number will assist women in distress by disseminating information and access to the legal aid through single platform. The mobile application has been crafted to enhance legal literacy and awareness amongst women in need of legal assistance. Its aim is to provide ready help and education on focuses on various rights and statutes pertaining to women in India, making justice accessible to women across the remotest corners of India. I strongly believe that these applications and the awareness program by NALSA and NCW in collaboration with Vidhan Se Samadhan, which is being launched at a block level for women, will empower them with the knowledge of law and also improve women's access to justice. It is important we not only do our best when approached for legal aid, but we also provide legal tools necessary for our society to protect itself and act in accordance with law. On this special occasion, I would also like to take a moment to congratulate and celebrate the achievements and success stories of the dedicated workforce of our legal service institutions, who have been recognized for their exemplary contributions in ensuring access to justice for those in need. One such initiative is the initiative of the Legal Awareness Program for Women at grassroots level in collaboration with the National Commission for Women since 2020. The paralegal volunteers are the eyes and ears of the legal service institutions. Along with the panel lawyers, they form the cornerstone of legal aid schemes. Apart from offering legal services to the marginalized, their integrity and commitment are vital in assisting villagers in comprehending and resolving their day-to-day issues, such as obtaining ration cards, employment cards under Magnera, or available benefits under the government schemes. Rule 10 of the NALSA Legal Services Clinic Regulations 2011 mandates paralegal volunteers to accompany individuals seeking legal services to government offices, where they can interact with the officials and seek solution to their problems. In times when court and its procedures may seem distant and daunting to the common person, you are the face of justice. For as the saying goes, knowledge is power, and knowledge of the laws is empowerment. You play a pivotal role in the mission of empowering those who are not equal in arms for securing justice and have no voice. It is equally important to focus on the quality of legal services provided to the disadvantaged sections of our society. Kindness is the foundation for justice. As Leo Tolstoy said, the kinder and the more thoughtful of a person is, the more kindness he or she can find in other people. Kindness helps us develop empathy. Empathy plays an important role in developing moral judgment and reasoning by sensitizing us to the issues related to the principles of justice and fairness. It also enables us to appreciate the human meanings of a given legal situation. Empathy allows us to find the hidden layers under law and unearth its discriminatory impact on the lives of the people, especially those vulnerable and marginalized in our society. Therefore, it is crucial to instill sympathy while we are rendering legal services to the impoverished. On this Legal Services Day, I extend my congratulations to the dedicated workforce of NALSA for being the instrument of positive change. It is essential that we take pride in our work and celebrate our accomplishments, as this will fuel our enthusiasm for the future work. I implore each one of you to persist in your efforts to enhance public awareness of the legal matters and to empower women by imparting a deeper understanding of their rights. We have the education and thus the responsibility to assist others who are less fortunate. In conclusion, I wish to reiterate NALSA's mandate to ensure that opportunities for justice are not denied to any citizen. The inclusion of access to justice in 2030 agenda for sustainable development is recognition of the intrinsic link between the access to justice and its ability to help people develop fully and lead dignified life. We are also tasked with fostering a culture of alternative dispute resolution mechanism, promoting amicable and collaborative disputes resolution in place of prolonged litigation. May we continue to work tirelessly and to uphold the principles of justice, equality, empowerment for all. We should be proud of what we are doing. And as the Law Minister said, we are, in a sense, leaders almost of the world in terms of our footprints compared to any other country in the world. In words of Mahatma Gandhi, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, NALSA, through its unwavering dedication, ensures that legal services are accessible to all, regardless of their socio-economic status. Now, let us mark another significant milestone in this program. I humbly request Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India and Patron-in-Chief NALSA, along with the esteemed dignitaries on the stage, to formally launch the upgraded national toll-free helpline number of NALSA.
The right to legal aid, a key tool for accessing justice, is a right available to every person, irrespective of their geographical location or socio-economic background. In India, people living in remote areas continue to face challenges in accessing legal aid services due to the barriers caused by remote location and restricted mobility. The upgraded helpline number 15100 is a significant step toward ensuring that people living in remote areas or in crisis situations have equal access to legal aid services. Some of the salient features of the upgraded NALSA's toll-free National Legal Aid Helpline are as follows. First, multilingual support, an interactive menu of services in 10 Indian languages, representing the length and breadth of the country, is crucial for making legal assistance accessible to people from diverse linguistic backgrounds. Second, basic mobile phone accessibility. A significant percentage of the rural population has access only to basic mobile phones. The helpline is designed to cater to this segment also. Third, interactive voice response system. The introduction of an interactive voice response system, IVRS, in multiple languages is a game changer. It not only provides information but also enables citizens to check the real-time status of their applications. Fourth, gender-sensitive support. Option to speak with male or female counsel is a significant step in ensuring that survivors of gender-based violence or persons dealing with gender-sensitive matters are comfortable in seeking help. Fifth, callback facility. Callback facility with regard to unanswered calls ensures that people in distress are not left without assistance. Sixth, wide coverage. The linking of the helpline to 703 district legal services authorities, DLSAs, across India ensures broad geographical coverage, reaching all states and union territories. NALSA's efforts to promote access to justice for all citizens, especially those in remote areas or in distress, is a significant stride towards upholding the principle of access to justice for all. It not only provides assistance to individuals in need, but also strengthens the outreach framework by making it more inclusive and accessible.
Ranking legal services relevant phone call rate more existing helplines segment limitation is spread yes it's mistakes more choice which so monitoring mechanism feedback or quality check restricted to the area where caller's number is registered in a beneficiary is fine any other area no emergency services options of interacting with you and such other applications. Towards national legal aid act, Now, in a uniform curriculum, second, there's an interactive self-service platform used from legal services. Citizens can in their languages. For emergency, citizens can reach quickly for assistance. Citizens can be directed to specific streams using voice. It has a dashboard for monitoring and management. Option to choose male or female counts. Feedback mechanism, fallback facility, call recording, option of person anywhere in the having access to any platform avail of free legal aid service, such as legal advice, panel of advocate, applying for legal aid, applying for mediation, knowing the status of existing application itself, in all languages, will Telugu, Marathi, Malayalam, Hindi, Oriya, English, and English. It is a big step in self-free access to legal aid. It allows the person to seek legal assistance, even in a situation of ability weakness. NALSA is currently conducting pre-operational training programs for nodal officers, secretaries of DLSs, and ensuring efficient delivery of legal services through pre-operating capacity building programs are scheduled for PLDs in relation to the foresight stakeholders once the system takes operation. This helpline serves as a lifeline for those seeking legal aid, especially marginalized community who may face physical barriers accessing legal service institutions. It embodies ALSA's policy approach of making the legal aid system safe. Christian words of Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. As the Chief Justice of India and a citizen of this country, it is heartening to see the progress that we have made as a country to see that justice is accessible to everyone. Justice should mean concrete resolution and redress, elusive ideals. It should never be a function of geography. However, in a world of fragmented geographies, quick and meaningful legal assistance is geographically constrained. This is changing with confident that quality legal redress will eventually find its way into the most remote corners of the country. The NALSA toll-free helpline is a step in that direction. It dismantles the barriers of distance and cost and access to legal aid. The helpline is a step towards materializing the directive principle of accessible legal assistance, Article 39A of the Constitution. It brings justice just a phone call away. Technology is a great equalizer. This helpline is a fitting example of the transformative potential of technology, making justice accessible. The interactive voice response system, IVRS, facilitates easy navigation of the services provided to the helpline. The helpline is available in 10 languages. The helpline accounts for the difficulty one faces when navigating legal solutions to citizens' problems, and how this may lead to hesitancy in sharing information over call, which attempts to overcome this hesitancy by allowing the caller to speak with a lawyer of their preferred gender. It's the perfect instance of emerging technology while not letting go of the human touch. The recent upgrades, such as the monitoring feature, call recording, and the option to caller mechanisms, the monitoring dashboard, significantly added utility to the service. The helpline number 15100 and its latest upgrades
and furtherance of NALSA's vision for an inclusive legal system promoting access to justice. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to NALSA and wish them the very best.
Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed further. As Chief Justice of India, Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud has been a strong advocate for women's rights and equality. His landmark decisions and initiatives have been instrumental in advancing gender equality and empowering women, paving the way for a more inclusive and equitable society. It is with utmost respect and profound reverence that I extend this invitation to Honorable Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India and Patron in Chief of NALSA, to grace us with his invaluable insights.
My very distinguished colleague, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Executive Chairperson of National Legal Services Authority, my very erudite brother, Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Chairperson of the Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, my colleagues, Justice Amanullah, Justice Bhatti, who are in the audience, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal, Honorable Minister of State, Independent in Charge of the Ministry of Law and Justice, Ms. Rekha Sharma, Chairperson of the National Commission for Women, Member Secretaries NCW and NALSA, all the distinguished guests here this evening. At the outset, I must extend my felicitations to National Legal Services Authority and the National Commission for Women for organizing the Legal Services Day and for the launch of the mobile application Her Legal Guide and the awareness program Vidhan Se Samadhan for Women. I must tell you that I have a prepared text, but just about 30 seconds before I got up to deliver my speech, I looked at Justice Kaul in the manner in which one judge turns to another judge. And I said, I think discretion requires me not to speak from my prepared text and share a few stories of my life as a judge and our interface with the marginalized. All in a week of work for a Supreme Court judge, not just for the Chief Justice of India. In 1 week of work in the Supreme Court, what is it that we encounter? And I'll tell you what I encounter in a standard week, which was this last week. Women from the armed forces of the nation coming to the court and telling us that despite your judgment granting us the benefit of permanent commissions, we have not been granted command assignments. Women coming to us telling us that there is no uniform policy for the distribution of sanitary napkins among girl children from standard 6 to 12. So there are varying degrees of achievement by different state governments. Some state governments would provide 18 packets a year of 6 sanitary napkins each to a girl child. Others provide less or more or nothing at all. Acid attack victims coming to us and saying that the policy for restitution and compensation which has been granted is inadequate. Do something to increase the grant of compensation. A sole woman who comes to us says that I had parted with my child to my husband for just a few days. I find that my husband has absconded with the child. I really don't know where the child is. A disabled person, a visually blind person, who comes to us and tells that under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, it has been provided that the amount which is payable under the social welfare scheme of the government of India and the government of the states must be enhanced by 25% in the case of a disabled person. But this has not been done. So you see the variety of grievances which come to us as a court of last resort, of people who come to you with a sense of aspiration, people who approach you with a sense of hope, people who approach you with a feeling that there are institutions of governance which can perhaps move the way forward, move the needle in our quest to realize the achievement of justice. We have excellent laws. The implementation of our laws is also done in good faith. But in a country as vast, as diverse, the real challenge is to use the transformative potential of a democracy, the transformative potential of the Constitution, by converting it into the real realization of rights for people on the ground. The right to legal aid was not a given at the birth of the Constitution. It came in, as we know, by the enactment of Article 39A, by the institution of a statutory form to the legal aid movement. But yet, all in a day's work, all in a week's work, so very often you find under trials who come to you and say that, well, I have not been released for several weeks despite the grant of bail. Convicts who come and tell you in court that despite the fact that I have put in 30 years after conviction for the offense of murder, I'm yet to be released. These are matters which are part of the daily work of the Supreme Court. And that really is a clear indicator that marginalization, whether it be in the form of gender, marginalization, whether it be in the form of caste, marginalization, whether it be in the form of disability, or marginalization, whether it be in the form of the victims of violence, all too often poses a real barrier to the realization of rights. Now, how do we respond as a system? And I think that the real worth of the work which is being done by the National Commission for Women, on the one hand, and by NALSA on the other, the real worth of the work which is being done by these two flagship missions of our nation is to take the reach of justice to the doorstep of people. Our earlier models of justicing were founded on one premise, which is that she who is in need of justice must approach justice. Now, that model where she who is in need of justice must approach justice doesn't factor in the inequalities which determine whether you will get justice or otherwise. The work which is done by NALSA and the work which is being done by the National Commission for Women has flipped the paradigm. And by flipping the paradigm, it has provided real-time justice to people who are in need of justice by making them aware of their rights, by placing the burden to access justice not on them, but by placing the burden to access justice on us. In other words, justice becomes not just a sovereign function of the state, but justice truly is regarded as a service which we provide to our citizens. Now, technology, which is close to my heart, is opening up new facilities and new prospects for the realization of the rights of our people. For one thing, technology provides for transparency. Second, technology provides for a comprehensive record of everything that happens. And third, technology can be, if properly wielded, oblivious to the underlying inequalities in the system based on caste, on class, on religion, on gender, or a variety of other positions in society. Let me give you just one example. Orders for bail are passed routinely by the high courts, by the district judiciary, and by the Supreme Court. But once an order for bail is passed, that order for bail has to be implemented on the ground by the superintendent of the jail, say in Samastipur or in Gonda or in Bahraich or in any remote part of the country. How do you ensure that the fruits of the order of bail actually reach out to those citizens for whom the bail was granted? That order has to be communicated to the under trial or to the convict, and that has to be implemented by the district court in charge of issuing the release or the release warrant for the individual. Last year, the Supreme Court devised a new app called the Faster 1.0. The purpose of the app which we devised in the Supreme Court was to ensure a quick communication of the orders granting bail from the Supreme Court to the district and central jails. But having developed the app, how do you ensure that the superintendent of jail actually opens his email or her email account and reads the order by which the bail was communicated? There's no way that you can do that. Now, we have employed technology, and technology today opens up limitless possibilities, as I said. In our latest version, which we unveiled yesterday to my colleagues in the Supreme Court, we have used blockchain for the purpose of ensuring that we can carefully monitor the manner in which orders granting bail are actually enforced on the ground. So when an order is passed, say by the court of my distinguished colleague Justice Kaul or Justice Sanjeev Khanna, the order communicating bail, the order enlarging an accused on bail, is then automatically channelized to the Supreme Court user. The Supreme Court user transmits the order granting bail to the district court, to the superintendent of jail, and to the High Court. In the course of the blockchain, every aspect of the transaction is recorded online. That order cannot be fudged. That order cannot be duplicated. That order cannot be replaced because it has a hashtag which is associated with it. Now, once this is done, you can extract compliance because you know exactly at the origin of the order as to whether the order has reached the recipient in the district or central jail. Has that order been transmitted to the district court? And has the district judge passed an order or the chief metropolitan magistrate passed an order actually issuing the release warrant? In other words, what I want to emphasize is that the devil is always in the fine print. And our mission, whether in NALSA or in the National Commission for Women, is to ensure that not only should we lay down policies which are forward-looking, for us as judges, not only that we should lay down judgments that are forward-looking, but what the National Legal Services Authority tells us and what this movement tells us is that we have to go that extra mile in ensuring that all the benefits of social welfare actually reach out to our citizens. And in doing that, we can have technology as a real ally. There have been great achievements by NALSA, but much remains to be done. I'll just give you one or two figures. Justice Sanjeev Khanna quoted a few figures. In the recently concluded National Lok Adalat, as many as 3,09,16,790 pending and pre-litigation cases were taken up, and 2.04 cases were disposed of, involving a total value of 14,347 crores. I think it's important that just as we introspect on days such as the Legal Services Day, we must also celebrate the achievements of our foot soldiers, for whom the mission owes a debt of gratitude. But there are problems. According to a 2018 study, in the context of India's prison population, the per capita spending on legal aid was just 0.75 paise per prisoner. Another report of 2022 highlights that the panel lawyers across the country, dropped from nearly 60,000 in 2020 to a little over 50,000 in 2022. Only 25 out of 36 states' legal services authorities had more than 20% women lawyers on their legal aid panels. There are only 587 paralegals in all who are transgenders. There have been improvements in some areas as well. The share of women paralegals has risen from 35% in 2020 to 40% in 2022. The under trial review committees saw 47,618 prisoners being recommended for release, out of which 24,789 were actually released. The walk-in legal aid clinic to assist women in distress launched by NCW in collaboration with the Delhi State Legal Services Authority is a groundbreaking step for women's access to legal counsel without having to run from pillar to post. The Supreme Court's initiatives, virtual hearings, transcription of hearings for constitutional bench cases, and infrastructural changes in the Supreme Court are headed in the same direction. The launch today of her legal guide is a crucial step in advancing technology to facilitate legal awareness for women. Similarly, the block awareness program for Vidhan Se Samadhan is praiseworthy for providing education on the laws and policies to the women residing in far-reaching areas of the country. I strongly believe that these initiatives would help women in availing of legal services. Truly, the worth of a family is determined by the position of a woman in the family. The worth of a community is determined by the worth which is ascribed to the woman in the community. The worth of an organization is definitively defined by the work which that organization ascribes to women who work for that organization. And therefore, what is a nation? A nation ultimately is a conglomeration of families, of societies, of communities, of groups, of states, of self-governing communities. So in our march for the future, our worth as a nation will largely depend on the worth which we ascribe to women. And ascribing worth to women is not a woman's issue. Ascribing worth to women is primarily a man's issue as well. So I think we need to change our mindsets before we can move the movement forward. I'm deeply grateful to you for inviting me this evening, and I compliment the tremendous work which is being done by the National Legal Services Authority, ably led by my distinguished colleague, Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, by Justice Sanjeev Khanna in the Legal Services Committee, by our predecessors who have come here, because after all, we only carry a baton which we will pass on to succeeding generations. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir. We're truly grateful for your words of enlightenment and wisdom, and I can say that your words have inspired each one of us in this room. As we draw towards the culmination of this event, I would like to invite Ms. Meenakshi Negi, Member Secretary, National Commission for Women, to extend a formal vote of thanks to the audience.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, friends from the media, faculty members and students who have joined us this evening, my colleagues from NCW, colleagues from other ministries and departments, senior officers, ladies and gentlemen. It's not every day that I find myself in a privileged position like this, where I am speaking and no less than the Chief Justice of the country is listening. And not only the Chief Justice, but all the other senior judges from the Supreme Court, as well as the other dignitaries who are present at the dais. And to place me in this happy position, the one person whom I must thank is the Chief Justice himself, because he not only readily accepted our invitation, and in fact, sir, you so readily accepted our invitation that we were a bit surprised. Sir's not listening, but so we were a bit surprised as to how readily he accepted our invitation. And thank you so much for that. So, on behalf of the National Commission for Women, on behalf of the National Legal Services Authority, and on behalf of all of you who are present here, I extend a sincere thanks to Honorable Chief Justice Dr. Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the Chief Justice of India and Patron-in-Chief NALSA. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation, gracing the occasion, and sharing your thoughts with us. And as far as sharing your thoughts, what really we are can I please request everybody to be seated? Just a minute. I won't take more than 2 minutes. This is my 2 minutes in the sun, so kindly don't take it away from me. Sir? Yeah, I'll just wind it up. So thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts with us, especially when you talk of gender diversity and inclusivity, as well as the marginalized sections who need justice. I take this opportunity to also thank the Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Chairman, Supreme Court Legal Services Committee, for sparing time for us and sharing your valuable thoughts with us. I thank Honorable Mr. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, Judge, Supreme Court of India and Executive Chairman, National Legal Services Authority, who has been a pillar of support not only for the National Commission for the work that we are doing with NALSA, but also for being part of such programs even earlier and later on, whenever we invite. I hope we receive the same response from him. I take this opportunity to thank the Honorable Minister of State Independent Charge, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal ji. सर आपने जो 1 साल बेमिसाल की बात कही है वो हमेशा याद रहेगी हमें, और योगा से लेके स्पेस तक जाने की जो बात, hats off to you, sir, for flagging issues like that with us. और विधान से समाधान जो हमारा ऐप है उसके बारे में आपने, you spoke words of encouragement. We are thankful for that. I thank the Honorable Chairperson of National Commission for Women, Ms. Rekha Sharma, for envisioning and guiding not only today's program, but also the entire, the orchestrating the entire, the visionary leadership she has provided for the legal awareness program that we are conducting in collaboration with NALSA. Thank you, ma'am, for being the backbone and the guiding force behind NCW. I thank Ms. Santosh Snehiman, Member Secretary, NALSA, for always being there for always being there for NCW, as well as for guiding the program and organize and being with us step by step, frankly, for organizing these functions. Thank you so much. I also like to thank the dignitaries of the dais, all the judges of the Supreme Court, the chairperson of State Women's Commission of Haryana, Ms. Renu Bhatia ji, the members of NCW, Ms. Delena Kondup and Ms. Mamta Kumari ji, Additional Secretary MWCD Sanjeev Chadda ji, PN Krime from Spooner, Hibu Tamang, Joint Commissioner Delhi Police, DIG BPRND Nitisha Ghuri, Special Secretary Department of Justice, and all the others who are, spared time for us today and encouraged us in our endeavor. I thank the members of the press and media for being present here in such numbers, and we know that you are the instrument of change for portrayal of women in a sensitive, inclusive manner. I thank the wonderful audience, the students and faculty members, and for the dignitaries on the dais, I must say that it is you who add value to the program, because you are as the Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice himself said, we are here to pass the baton to you, and you will take it forward. Thank you so much for being present here and being part of this function today. Last but not least, I have to thank my own team from NCW, who have been such pillars of support, and also full marks to our Joint Secretary, Mr. Asholi, our Deputy Secretary, Shivani, Under Secretaries, Mridul for being the IT support behind the whole event. And thanks, Asholi, for being the, doing the tightrope walk between many strong-headed women. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. Thanks once again. Jai Hind.